There is zero competition in this family. It is all about lifting each other up. What's up, everyone? Hi, my listeners. We are heading out on 2022. We only have like another week or so left, but there is no way that I can talk to you guys just a few days before Christmas without bringing you guys a little bit of my family, okay? Have to bring you a family episode. This is a very, very special episode for me. This is the cousins episode, guys. So on this episode, you're probably going to learn more about me than you learned about me on all the other episodes, because these two right here call me out. They tell the truth. They're not like jaded by the show, by anything. It's just Missy, Sissy, and Nicky coming to you live, okay? Let me just tell you, these two are Marcos, okay? Tara and Nicholas are both Marcos. They are actually my godfather, who is John Marco. That is my dad's brother, okay? He's my godfather. These are his two children. He only had two, Tara and Nicholas. They are so incredible. They're my absolute best friends. We're going to give you all of our inside cousin secrets. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nicholas Marco and Mrs. Tara Bogota.
Hi, everybody. So happy to be here.
Hi.
So excited.
I'm so happy that you guys are finally on my podcast. Did you like my little cousin's introduction? Listen, I can introduce you in so many more ways because you guys are such entrepreneurs, and I want to get into that throughout the episode because I'm proud. I truly am so proud of you guys. They have huge connections. My godfather was the founder of Hand and Stone Massage, which I know you guys all know, which then they went and took over. So we're going to get into all of the business part of this later. But for right now, I just want my two cousins to be in the room with me. What's up, guys? Are you excited to be doing this?
To be here. Honestly, it's such an honor. It's like such a full circle moment to see you go since 2011 being on Real Housewives of New Jersey and now doing a podcast. I honestly didn't realize how good you would be at interviewing people.
Oh,
and
thanks,
I feel
Nicholas.
like we have a lot more similarities as we get older than we didn't realize, as far as just like things you enjoy doing and things you do well. And you're really good at just talking to people and connecting. And I just think that
Thank
you
you.
were truly meant to be on TV. Like, you handle it so well. And so it's such an honor being here on your podcast. And you better buckle up because, like, I'm channeling a little bit of Andy Cohen, Jeff Lewis, maybe even a little Oprah today. Like, I'm ready.
Oh, my God. My cousin came prepared. It's so funny. He is like, he's like the smarty pants, right, Tara, in our family. He was always like the Penn State graduate who, like, you probably were like valedictorian or something. What were you?
Number 2, but I did speak at graduation, which was all I wanted to do.
Oh my God, number 2 at Penn State. Okay, like this is what I'm dealing with here in my family. Me, not so much, but
How do I follow up with this? I've been used to it forever. Nick,
I know
he's my younger brother, but he is always got more to brag about.
Well, you have 3 kids. Tara has 3 beautiful children. Okay, she has a set of twins, and my godchild Nicholas, who is so cute. How old are the twins now?
Named after my brother. The twins are 7.
The twins are
They
7.
keep me busy. But this is a full circle moment being in your office here with your on display sign behind you.
I know. It is crazy. And I actually love that you guys didn't just do a Zoom, that you like came in, because it makes it feel a little bit more real. And I just feel like we can banter off each other a little bit.
When you first had Zoom, I'm like, no, I'm coming. Like, I want to see you. We want to just have a conversation.
And
like,
be
we're
an
coming
action.
up.
Inside scoop here.
Lunch afterwards, maybe a little Envy shopping.
Of course. Envy, by the way, guys, Envy is across the street from my podcast office. So, and Tara, in case anyone doesn't know, is my biggest customer. Literally buys one of everything, which we'll get into because she's always been my little cousin. And I feel like we've always had like a relationship where I kind of did it first and she would watch and learn and then... Right? Like that's
I've always, gotten my fashion advice from you, hair advice, makeup, always gone to you for approval, all those things.
I mean, guys, with Christmas being just a couple days away, and before we get into more of this like family dynamic that we have to share all of our fun family traditions that we have. I mean, there's definitely a couple that stand out to me, some from when we were younger and some that we've now created now, which I feel like our Instagram followers absolutely love. I mean, when we were younger, we were definitely that family we were not allowed to open the presents before midnight, right? We did all the 7 fishes, we ate all of the pasta, and we were not like our grandmother we used to watch the clock tick in our Christmas pajamas. And like I remember Tara, Jenna, like we would put like the little Christmas bells around our necks and like hop around and just wait for midnight. We were not allowed to open one gift until midnight. And I can remember being like 5 years old, probably, like going home so late at night, falling asleep in the car, but we would never leave each other before midnight. Do you guys remember all of that? Or you're too young?
Just always obsessed with games, like constantly, like, and the adults too. Like honestly, like I think that's as kids, like the adults were having a lot of fun, and it was always like,
our adults
insane.
like partied on Christmas.
Insanity.
Yes.
Wait, what was the name of the card game we played?
Push.
Push. Oh my God, we love to play
with
Push.
real money, and I loved that.
Real money. Somebody won the jackpot at the end. The adults were always like having a couple cocktails. We make specialty drinks. Christmas Eve we have like, we're pretty much typical Catholic Italians, but our Christmas Eves are huge. It's the party day for us. It's where we dress up. We know it's like the music is blasting. It's a party. But what I do want to tell you guys about is our more recent tradition that we do, which I know a lot of you know already if you follow us on Instagram. And if you don't, you need to watch this every Christmas day. We do a very special Secret Santa that follows up with like a rap, right, guys? Wait, explain this. First of all, who started this?
I know. I was like, can I take credit for this one? I feel like
Yes.
it's either me or Lisa, but I don't know. All I know is I think I take it very seriously.
Very serious.
And, it's a moment.
Explain
for sure.
to them what we do.
And who is your Secret Santa is this chant. Who's your Secret Santa?
Ready? Here, this is how it starts. Before everyone takes the stage, it's like, who's your Secret Santa? Who's your Secret Santa? Who's your Secret Santa? And then whoever has the stage stands up in front of all of our cousins and all of us together, and they start their rap. Their rap is something, it's like a song, it's like poetry, it's rhymes a lot of the time. It's something about the person that your Secret Santa is. So you can sometimes kind of shade them. It's sometimes like a roast. We're roasting.
Always a little nervous about being live on Instagram versus posting because it can get a little risque, we got to keep it clean.
Yeah, all the aunts and uncles vote on it. My dad immediately disqualifies you if you drop an F-bomb.
Right. So we have the older people in the room, which is our aunts and uncles and our parents, are judging who had the best rap, right? And who had the best rhyme. Nick, give me like an example of a Secret Santa so they understand. So it's like we chant for you.
An example rap?
Yeah, give us. Do you have one old Secret Santa in your?
Let me see. Because
every
year.
I mean, I usually do mine the day of, and it really comes out pretty amazing. But some people are. Nick might already have his written for all.
Yeah, I'm like upset because
for Lisa, I call you when I need you, and my heart's on fire.
And we have to still figure. Keep going.
You answer the phone, ready to get wild and more wild. Oh, you come to me, give me everything I need. Give me a lifetime of memories and the pictures to keep. All right, I'm trying to do Tina Turner right now, and I don't have my music.
Yeah, but he'll be like...
It's gotten even crazier. Like, now people have, background music. And
right.
It's just very
And,
intense.
it's very intense because you don't want to be the ass who walks up and, didn't come up with a good
the
rhyme.
Pressure, the sweating that your husband has.
Oh, my God, my
because
husband.
He gets so upset because we're preparing. And
Yes.
he loves being this off-the-cuff comedian who's just, I'm like, did you practice? He's like, no.
Never.
I'm like, you're stressing me out.
No,
you're
can I
stressing
just
me
tell
out.
you about Joe? He never makes his rhyme. So as we're driving down to Tara's house for Christmas Day, he's always like, wait, write my rhyme for me. What am I going to say? Tell me something about this.
He's probably asking you on the way there.
He's
Who's
like,
mine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's the worst. No, the best is too when it's time to pick the names. Always be in the group chat. I'm like, I hope I get somebody good this year.
Yes. The problem is I always get the same people. I get the same people every year. I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to give a heads up. But I get the same 2 guys every
Don't give
year.
it away. I feel like every family though should maybe adopt this tradition because it is a fun time.
it's so good.
Like everyone's prepping. People are hiding in bathrooms, practicing their rhymes with the non-computers. The little cousins watch us. People are coming over from their relatives' house at the end of the night. They're like, I'm leaving my in-laws, but I'm headed to Tara's. I'm going to go
I want to go watch Secret Santa.
We have like people tune in live on Instagram.
Yes, guys, just make sure you tune into my Instagram that day. I will video everyone's Secret Santa. Now I feel a lot of pressure. It's only a couple days away, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, so we better get working on our rhymes. Yes. So anyway, be sure to check all of our Instagrams. You will not be disappointed. And listeners, let me know your opinion on who you think had the best and the worst raps of our family this year. What's up, everybody? I need all the extra energy that I can get this holiday season. That's why I drink Spark. It's Avocare's best-selling energy drink mix, and it's definitely my go-to for extra energy and focus this time of year. Spark has just the right amount of caffeine I need for these busy days, and it's not like too much caffeine. It gives you just the perfect amount of energy. It's not where you can't sleep at night. So I'm hosting this year, and the holiday prep is just so much easier with the help of Spark. You guys know I'm always running around with the podcast, with Envy, with the kids. It like never ends. And if you're like me, we're looking for all the good, healthy, extra energy we can get. And not only do they have Spark, they also have this electrolyte drink mix. It has a 1-to-1 sodium to potassium ratio, and it helps the body stay hydrated during activity. It helps prevent cramping, and it fuels the body with carbohydrates for energy and endurance. So between Spark and this electrolyte drink mix, your energy for the day is taken care of. So make sure you grab a box of Spark for someone on your gift list, or just treat yourself this holiday season to 15% off your first order when you go to avocare.com/Melissa. That's ADVOCARE.com/Melissa. Yes, you can get 15% off your first order when you shop at avocare.com/Melissa today. Well, I wanted to bring my cousins on today, to be honest with you guys, because I get so much feedback from you guys. I know you guys know I just did my cousin's trip to see Mariah Carey that we do every single year for the last at least 5 years or 6 years.
We're almost like 7-8 years. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. And you guys ask me about my family all the time, and you envy the fact that I have such a close relationship with my sisters and my cousins, and that we spend so much time together, and that I know you guys see them all on Instagram, and you can see that we are genuinely a very happy family, and that we have like great relationships with each other. And so many of you, and even just people on the street, guys, by the way, just to applaud you guys as well, everywhere I go, because I probably get a lot more interaction with people and, you know, strangers telling me things, they love the way that we are together. They love the way you guys are with my sisters, with our other cousins. Like, people are very envious of a great family that knows how to do it right, right? And absolutely, that is the one thing I don't brag often. That is the one thing that I brag about. Anyone in the world looks at me and says, you have the most amazing family. Like, your family, you guys are so fun. Like, we want to come to, and I go, you know what? I do. I was blessed. I do. I know it. The guys I used to date, just FYI, like back before Joe, used to always just want to get married because they want to be a Marco. They just want to be in
the fam.
Yeah, Joe will hate that I just said that, but it's the truth. Sorry. Like, they were all just like this family. Like, they didn't want to break up because they didn't want to not be part of our family. So I feel like we're so blessed that way. Let me ask you something, guys. Why? Like, first of all, talk about Mariah Carey trip. How did this come about?
Well, first off, can we believe that she packs Madison Square Garden?
Wow.
This diva can go on basically almost like 11 o'clock at night. Like, she has no timetable. I just couldn't. I'm still like shook how late she was.
She was doing her makeup,
taking bets when she would come on.
And I think we all just secretly are obsessed with her just unapologetic way about her, which is why we're just so obsessed with her. And
also, her music, guys. We sang every song.
It's incredible.
Like, I literally sang every song.
Mariah Carey is truly Christmas. And just when she first did a Christmas concert, I just thought, let's start this annual tradition. And regardless of if she has a show or not, it'll always and forever be Mariah Carey Christmas weekend with the cousins in New York City, always in December. And we just, the magic of New York. I mean, no matter what, there's always the magic of New York City in the Christmas spirit and during, the holidays. And
who started this trip? Was this
Nick surprised us years ago. It was his idea. He invited us the night before he got the tickets, and that was a one-night thing, and then it turned into, all right, we're going to go for the whole weekend, and we're going to prepare this months in advance, and then we're going to start picking out what we're wearing. It turned into a tradition, and we see the tree, and we just spend the whole weekend together.
Nick, you are responsible for our amazing cousins weekend, and it's funny because you are, I want to say, the youngest cousin of all. Is it fair?
For the most
Nick,
part.
how old are you? Let's just talk ages because people are probably curious how old you guys are.
There's you and I 10 years apart, almost exactly. I'm 32, going to be 33. I'm a Capricorn, very proud of that.
Okay.
January 2nd. I always used to joke when I was a kid, like I was the first person born of 1990. I wasn't, but I tell people I was.
You were. Yeah. And Sarah, how?
I'm 37, so that makes us
6 years apart.
And it doesn't matter how old you are. Like your sisters, you guys have that age gap. We all age gap doesn't matter. We just.
I think that's what blows people's mind
blows us away
about like seeing. The cousins who we hang out with, like the age range.
It goes from 50s,
big,
40s, and 30s.
but
literally,
some people are having hot
just
flashes.
A number.
My sisters could be having a hot flash. The other ones are trying to like hang from the chandeliers.
Yes.
Like you never know. We all just like make it work, and it's weird. We all have like the common. We're all very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Which listen, we could like have cousins who aren't as fun, or we all like to have a cocktail. Is that fair to say? Like.
Yeah.
We all are just a really good time. So I think that's why it always works when we're all together, because in general, we all love life, right?
Yep.
We all love each other. We all just want to have fun. But let's talk, because I think what my listeners want to know really too is like, why are we all so close? Because, it's not all families, it doesn't come this easy. And that's fair to say. And I feel for families that it doesn't come this easy. And not everyone is as lucky, I would say, as we are. Why is it? And I think I know some of the reasons, but I'm curious your take on it. Like, is it because of our parents, right? Like, why are we all so close? What do we do different than some of the other families?
Well, I feel like I always look at life like in the lens of like business. So like I feel like that whole saying of like it starts from the top. Like Tara, what were you just saying about our grandmother? Like
she was a peacemaker and always forgave. So there was never any grudge holding in our family, and that's it. Your family, you forgive, you forget, you move on. We're always honest with each other. We never competed. We all have always rooted each other on. I think we watched our parents always look out for each other and, be proud of one another. And if one family was struggling, they helped the other, or, there was just always that common denominator of how we were raised.
Yeah, and for me, honestly, I feel like what's crazy is the person I could have been today if I didn't have the family that we have, because I'm proud to be a gay man, but holy crap, did I ever think in my early 20s that day was going to happen, that I was going to come out? No way.
Right.
And it wasn't until really I had this amazing conversation with my father where he literally grabbed me, put me in the car, we went over the bridge to Seaside Heights, we're overlooking the ocean, and he saw I was hurting, I was off, I was like saying it without saying it, and he just basically ripped that Band-Aid off and told me, do you understand the concept of unconditional love? And for my father to express that to me, which I think is just surrounded by us in our family, like we just have unconditional love for each other. We support each other through everything, and we celebrate the smallest things that we go through and obviously the biggest things. And we never take that for granted. I mean, it is truly a special day every single day. I wake up every day excited, like I really do. I didn't know if I was going to be that type of person, but once my family basically celebrated me coming out, it was like we truly threw a party. I'll never forget it, because it was your like one of your first filming events when you performed in New York City at Monarch or whatever it was.
Oh my God, on display,
yes,
like season 3,
and it was like
Jesus.
People were asking, can I tell? And I was like, fine. And like, I walked in and I was like, wait, this is Melissa's event, not mine.
It
But
was
it was
Nick's
just
coming out
it
party.
was like my little
party.
coming out party, and it was like I just turned 21, and that just changed like my whole trajectory of like who I became. And I think I just try to embrace it. Like I love my family so much. I love my friends. I surround myself with people that just support me, build me up. I want to build up every person around me. And we get that from our parents, you know, how we were raised. It's just, you know, it really does foster what we have today.
It's true. And I want to talk a little bit about you coming out, because I know there was some hesitations. And I love the way you just explained how, you know, your father was beyond amazing, which is like, because you were really the first one, I would say, in our family. Is that right? To come out in our
He's the
close,
only.
yes, and say, you know, that you were gay. And the way he reacted and embraced you, it made all of our hearts literally melt.
He would cry like.
And coming from an old school Italian family, we are an old school Catholic Italian family. And I will say my Uncle John, who I got lucky enough that is my godfather, he really sets the bar very high in our family when it comes to business, when it comes to philanthropy, when it comes to a lot of things as to like how our family is going to work and how we are going to be with one another and how we're going to accept people and how we're going to give back. He really does set the bar
he
very
has
high.
High expectations, and he's not afraid to communicate them, which can
Right.
sometimes be scary.
Right.
But we respect him for that.
Right.
You know, we do.
Right. I have my personal story with my uncle, and how when I realized he was amazing is when my father passed away, and I was only 16 years old. And I'll never forget, I was having a moment where I was kind of looking down at my father in the coffin, and I was just silent, quiet. I'm a young girl. And I'll never forget him coming up behind me, like putting his hand on my shoulder, literally at the funeral home, and saying to me, like, I am your godfather, and whatever you need, I am right here. And do never be afraid to ask for me. Ask anything that you need. And like, I am your father now. Basically saying like, you know, I'm never going to take the place of your father, but here I am, like, ask me for anything, and pushing me to want to go to college, and told me, I am going to pay for your college. I am going to,
best story.
I am going to pay for your books. Oh, Tara, actually, you reminded me this the other day when we were out, but that is a brother stepping up. That's not even for me, by the way. To me, that is a brother taking care of his brother. Absolutely. Saying, your youngest child, 16 right now, and she's not going to be lost. Yeah. And he did everything he said he was going to do. Tara actually has.
Well, I have the best memory of the family.
Okay.
And you were dating someone, and you came to a family party with a brand new belly button ring in. And Melissa, you know, with the abs and the body, shows up with her bikini, and my father's like, what's in your belly button? And you're like, I just got it pierced. He's like, what are you doing with your life? Do you want to go to college? What's your aspirations? He runs inside, he gets the computer paper and a pen, he jots up a contract and says, if you take that belly button piercing out, I will pay for your entire tuition for the semester if you get all A's. If you get 1B, I'm going to take a little bit off and you're going to help pay for it. And he wrote up this contract. You took the belly button ring out in front of us. You signed it. And then you started college.
Oh, there's my college story, guys. And by the way, a lot of people don't know, I did graduate college. I have a BA in elementary education. So I am a certified teacher, K through 8. Thank you to Uncle Johnny, who really did push me to go to college, because I did have a moment in life where I did get lost. You know, I got lost. I was a little bit of a wild child, I would say, from like 14 to 18 maybe. I feel like that's where I got a little lost in life for a minute, and I probably was acting out, and I wasn't sure like what I wanted to be or who I wanted to be. I kind of felt like an only child because my sisters were so much older than me. So
you were such a daddy's girl. I mean,
both of us have had that
your
label.
whole
Yes.
life was turned upside down, you know.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It really was. And I was a daddy's girl. He was kind of like that guy who just like videoed me all day, which is kind of so surreal to what I'm actually doing in life. Like my dad, for some reason, just thought I was going to be a star. I don't know why. I know it sounds funny, but like, guys, how many videos do I have dancing on tables with my dad setting up the proper lighting and videoing me I mean, it's weird, but it is what it is. And that's why I cry sometimes when I think about him and what I'm actually doing now, because I know he'd be the first one there, like clapping and cheering me on. But thank God that I have my actual extended family.
I am Lola Blanc.
And I'm Megan Elizabeth.
And we're the hosts of Trust Me, the podcast about cults, extreme belief, and the abuse of power.
Now on Podcast 1.
We're real-life cult survivors.
And we're here to tell you anyone can join a cult.
If you've ever dived headfirst into a new self-help program,
Or believed wholeheartedly in a spiritual practice,
or even just trusted someone with your life,
guess what? You're just as susceptible as everyone else.
no one is safe, especially not Megan.
I'm the most susceptible.
We want to debunk the myth that people who join cults are uneducated or naive or broken, because anyone can be manipulated by a narcissist or feel good in a new group they've joined.
And we should know we both have been.
Join us every week as we explore the world of extreme belief,
Talk to survivors and experts.
and share our own experiences with cults and the abuse of power.
Don't be fooled. You might be next.
Get new episodes of Trust Me every Wednesday on Podcast One, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
We all really did drift in our 20s, but like, explain on that. What do you mean by
Yeah,
that?
well, like when you're in your 20s, you feel like your friends are your family. You basically drift. You're finding yourself. And yeah, I remember being young and being like, is Melissa coming home this weekend to be a part of Sunday dinner?
Because I
And
moved up
you
north.
moved and you bartended, but you did all those things at a young age. You did it earlier than your 20s. But
Well, so I also was one of the only ones in the family who kind of just like moved up north and moved away from our hometown of Toms River, where we all kind of grew up. So that was a little different too. I think I kind of set the bar
you
of
did,
doing
and then
things
you pushed
different.
me to do that, after having kids, like not be fearful to meet new people. Like think about it, everybody that is your circle of friends you made as an adult, and you kind of encourage. It's not hard to make new friends, Tara, when you're older. You just go put your daughter in dance school and sit in the waiting area and
Then you
look
meet-
for a mom that you vibe with.
Look for a mom that wears the same type shoes you do. That's what I used to say. I'm like, just like
Look
if she,
for the shoes.
yeah, if her shoes look like your shoes, you guys have the same vibe in shoes, you guys could be friends. So all you young moms out there, just pay attention. I don't know. Sometimes if you have the same, I don't know, like
They're
you could just
similar
tell.
your vibe, but you have a really good way of like seeking out people and knowing who's good. You don't ever waste your time with toxic people that you don't vibe with. Like that's for sure.
For sure.
Because you don't have.
And I do feel
you
like
have no
there was
patience for fakeness.
what you were saying about like drifting in your 20s. We all did have our moments. There was a time where you weren't around, and like then I was there with a baby, and you were having your club moments,
Oh,
right?
you would make fun of me like you're the party girl, West Virginia, and
Right. Tara went to West Virginia, also an awesome party school.
and now we're trying to help Antonia pick her place, and I'm like, I need to be a part of this conversation.
Yes,
because
so I would
want
like
her make
to
a good
I would
choice.
like to announce on this podcast today that Tonia got accepted. She got accepted to many schools. One of the schools she got accepted to is Penn State.
She has to go.
Yes,
I'm just
and
saying.
she's on the fence.
Yeah.
Like there's reasons, and Nick literally was like FaceTiming her from Cousins Weekend, saying like there is no if, ands, or buts. We are.
Penn State, baby. I'll talk to her. I mean, I don't want to pressure her, but she's got to at least like. She's not even like considering it. Like she's going through that mood right now where she's like shutting it down too quickly. Even though like I know in her heart and her mind she's probably excited about it.
She is. She
Yeah.
just wants to do opposite of whatever
Yeah,
we
she's
tell
a rebel.
her.
She's absolutely a little bit of a rebel.
Yeah, and Tara, you were talking a little bit about Antonia too when it comes to like thick skin.
I am so impressed by her, how she has turned out growing up on reality TV. It's like she doesn't care. Like we will be on a beach or somewhere, and she just
Very confident.
is so confident. Nothing phases her. She's not changed by it, even though she grew up that way. It's just
It's
it's
weird.
amazing watching how thick her skin is. It really is.
And when I look at Antonia, what I see is in a lot of aspects of life, is unfazed.
That's it. She's unfazed. Like she doesn't give a shit.
Yes, like it's very hard to impress her. Also, it's
totally.
like she doesn't.
When she likes my photo, I'm like, yes.
right?
It's like a whole thing. Yes. No, it's so true. I'm like, Antonia noticed it.
She's so
Yeah.
you in so many ways. She just doesn't know it yet.
She is me. I see how she just treats like sometimes like with her boyfriend when he like certain things she'll like say to him at certain moments, or if he's being like like annoying or something. Like just her response or her look, I'm like, oh my God, she is.
And she's coming back to you.
But you know what? I am impressed with the way that she grew up. And not to say Gino or Joey did not, but Antonia is a girl. She's 17. Like she did, I think, I'm very impressed with the way she's unfazed, like completely.
Well, think about it. She doesn't have any like drama with girls at school or like bullying things.
She does,
like,
but she handles it. Like I feel like she
hear
knows
about it. Whereas when we were younger, it was like the topic of Sunday dinner, what we were dealing with, and how we were going to address it.
That's a whole episode for you, Tara.
How we were going to deal with it on Monday morning. Like I remember going to you for advice, but like Antonia's never come to any of us with that type of drama.
It's so crazy that she is such a drama free. Like she almost giggles at drama, like laughs at me. Like she'll laugh at me and she'll be like, "Oh, Mom, please." Like she's unfazed by the fact that even her cousins unfollowed her parents on Instagram, and like she just is like, you know what, Mom, not your problem.
Is that
theirs.
a little bit of that Gorga gene? I feel like where's that coming from? I mean, not that you're not that way.
I think she gets this from me, guys.
Yeah,
yes,
that's true.
That like I've taught her like how to handle situations in a calm manner.
Yeah.
Sorry. I wanted to talk about that Antonia
She's
thing
just
too.
really mature.
That's a
She's just really mature.
She
beyond
is.
her years. I think maybe the TV show helped with that. Maybe
I think she's also watched certain situations and things that I've been through too, and how I handle them, and like the calmness in the room instead of the chaotic.
Yeah.
And I think she's learned from that, and it could also just be her personality, guys. I mean, she is herself. We can't just say that I've totally created her. I mean, it is who she is, and she's the word that comes to mind with everything is unfazed.
Yes.
Like just in life.
But she'll like she's still so young. I'm excited. Like
I can't wait to see
we
what she
we haven't
does.
really fully seen her yet.
Yeah,
right?
we
Like,
don't know exactly.
We don't know.
I agree.
And that's why I would like her to go away, because
Then
not too far, but
Not too far.
there's power in that experience.
There is power
Yeah.
in becoming your own self and
Yeah.
not having a reality television show
Yeah.
filmed in your home once a year.
Yeah.
And just kind of getting away from like the fact that Joe and I are, very there all the time and taking care of everything. I do want her to have that experience. I can't wait to see like who Antonia Gorga
And if she
is.
goes to a big school, like the memories we'll make, like we'll all visit her. Like
We will. We'll be
can
at the fun
totally
football
like rent a
games.
whole RV. Like I'm here for it.
Yes.
I'm already planning it.
But do you guys see? So like when people want to know about cousins trips and like, so we're already deciding now on wherever Antonia goes to college, the family's renting an RV or we're going to get like an Airbnb and we will be there probably at least one of the weekends throughout the year. Cause this is how we think.
Everything's a thing. Like this weekend, I'm like, we have to start looking for Adriana's communion dress. Like, should we put it on our calendar so we can all do it together?
Right. Like
that's
it's a
just
thing.
How our brain works. Like they just went and picked out the suits.
Oh, they just went to Dolce and
Dolce and
Gabbana.
I'm
Oh.
obsessed.
I know, and I couldn't be
know.
there, and I was sending hate messages to the group chat the entire time, but it's fine.
Yeah, Nick just found his tuxes. Let's talk about fame for a second, because you guys obviously started with me from, birth, if we're being honest. I definitely changed your diapers, Nicholas, happy to say. Tara, I might have changed yours. I remember like
You were obsessed with
I was obsessed with you. I would just like twirl you around, and like we've literally been best friends, all of us, since the day you guys were born. You can be honest. Is it weird to have a cousin who's with you one day and then a little bit more famous the next day?
No, it's so fun.
I can honestly, though, remember like a little lump in my throat when it first started, especially the way it started, being like, oh, God, is this going to change the dynamic of our family? Because, you just don't know. And I have to say, I was put at ease so quickly once you got on this show, because you use it as a channel to just make our lives, I think, more exciting, and you share the journey. We have been along the ride with you since day one, and I'm obsessed with this ride. It's amazing.
So fun.
We've met so many people, gone to so many fun events, and you have not changed, I think, in the slightest bit. I think you've only just enhanced who you are. You found the boss in you, and it's inspiring, I think, to other women especially. I love, like, you're so natural at just posting these photos to share this fashion, and like I don't take any of that stuff for granted and think it's easy. I think what you do every day is very impressive. And I think we all just have to find what we do well naturally. And you do. Like, it's like if I had some of your skills, I would be better at some of these other things. Like, we all bring some really interesting things to the table. And I think we just love when people are who they are.
Yeah,
Thank you. By the way, thank you. That was very nice of you to say that.
Well, I think you were really built for this industry. I mean, I remember saying to you, like, when you got on the show, how can you handle these comments and the Us Weeklies and the tweets? I'm like, everyone knows me. I could never handle it.
Well, because it's not for everyone. The thick skin
for me. And I just remember you saying, clear as day, Tara, if my family knows who I am and my friends know who I am, I don't care what anybody thinks or say. I can sleep at night. I can put my head on the pillow. I can sleep because I know who I am, and you guys know who I am. And you've just always been the same person. Like, you'll come to parties at my house. You'll see friends from high school. They're like, Melissa hasn't changed a bit. She's still the same girl. And it's just been so fun to experience all these things for you. You got on the show the summer you were my bridesmaid at my wedding. And I'm like, I hope she could still come. Of course you were there wearing the, ugly bridesmaid dress I made you put on. But of course I went right up to the DJ and said, can you play on display?
Yes.
We just always cheer each other on. But you were so made for this, but you're still you.
I'm still me.
Still you, but you an elevated version. And you've just used this platform to promote all these things that you're good at, whether it's fashion, fitness, singing, dancing.
And I love that you guys say, like, I've shared journeys with you. I would love for you to tell the listeners, give me something that I've brought you to that was exciting for you. What did we do together? First of all, just so you guys know, I do like to take this experience and share it with my family because it's not fun to me to do it alone. Like, I want everyone to feel what I'm feeling. And I know they would do the same. They would bring me to all their events, right? So give me something that I've taken you to that you loved.
Well, I just feel like, for instance, Nick and I just went to BravoCon, and Melissa's introducing me to everyone. This is Tara, my cousin. This is my cousin. I'm looking around. I'm like, I don't think anybody else's cousins are here. Right. But like, I'm your plus one. But you and I just like taking a 24-hour, 48-hour trip to LA so you could be on a lip sync battle.
Oh my God.
I was in, I couldn't believe it.
Teigen.
And she just like jumps in the studio and just starts doing this whole dance routine that no one even taught you, and you're just I'm looking at her like, is this girl for real? How you can just learn a routine, lip sync. Oh, hey, hello, Cool J. Hey, Chrissy Teigen. No big deal. And all these fun things that we've done, parties, meeting people. It's just been such an exciting ride.
I think lip sync battle was probably the most fun for you and I, right?
I was honestly really jealous of that.
Yeah, you should have been. I'm not going to lie.
Everyone's like,
that was one of the better ones.
Are they on their way to lip sync battle? I'm like, yep, she picked me.
But we were so, I still watch it. I just was so impressed again by what you did. Like that, like you, to me, stick out as one of the best ones. And,
thank you.
There's been a lot
you know
of
me.
celebs
I've been
on
doing
that show.
lip sync battle in my living room since I'm 5. If anyone's going to do lip sync battle,
it would be you.
I something that sticks out with you is I remember introducing you, Nick, to Andy Cohen, and him really being blown away by you. Like, I remember him texting me about you after. He was just like, how's your cousin Nick? Or he would text me, say, wish Nick a happy birthday. In the beginning, he just really like took to you. He liked you because you are a very likable guy. Also very handsome. My cousin Nick's very handsome. They're both gorgeous humans. Both of you are brother and sister.
Well, I appreciate that people don't just think of just Melissa Gorga. They really think of Melissa Gorga and her family. Like, I think that because we are so close and we celebrate it, none of us is supposed to be bragging about it. I think, frankly, what we're trying to do a lot of times is just encourage other families, because it does feel like we're very isolated in how much love we share and how much time we spend together compared to just other people out there. And it's a shame.
Just by the way, they're baffled by it a lot of the times. Like, they literally, even my friends, like out of my other friends, right, in my circle of friends,
we love your friends.
They'll be like, "My God, your family!" Like, let's just discuss friends for a second and what people can bring to the table. So Nick was just telling me a story before we started about he's actually engaged. Nick has a fiance, Mike Masco, who is a weatherman. He's a weatherman on, where can we see Mike right now?
Oh, everywhere.
He's
feel like
everywhere.
He's jumping around everywhere from, PHL 17. He's been on Fox. He's been on Newsmax. Like, what a range.
What a range. He's a true weatherman in the family. Yes, we do text him all the time. Like, what's it going to be like today? Is the weather going to get better? We text him all of this crazy stuff all the time. But Nick was actually just telling me a really funny story that he just looked at him the other day and said, like, who can you bring to the table? So we're going to have a discussion about how we are also very open, right? So it's like, yes, we're a tight-knit family, but we are not the type of family who does not let you in. We let you in.
Of course.
We want to add to our circle.
2023, I'm like, who are we going to meet and like bring in? I'm excited about it.
But in all honesty, guys, let's discuss who brings the best people in and who brings the most friends to the table. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, and we do sometimes joke about this. We're like,
We do.
Melissa, I don't know what it is. She does meet the best people, and like we all are friends with them, and it's like, and then we feel bad because then they really do connect with us.
They take my friends.
and it's like I don't want them to feel obligated when they have this family party to invite the entire Marco crew, but they do, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like we better bring the best gift ever because like we're such a huge posse to come with, and we roll so deep.
We roll so deep.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
at like every baby shower now.
Yes.
Every anything.
Yeah,
we have,
I'm
the
making
whole-
my guest list for my wedding, and I'm like blown away how many people I've met through you are going to be on this list. But
I
like,
know.
it's my wedding, and I want them there, and I don't care. Like, if I've only met them a year or two ago, we just connect, and that's how it works.
Right. So here's
Sharing
the
is
thing.
caring.
Yes. Here's the thing. If I meet new friends, which let's not say I have thousands and thousands because I
No,
keep
your
No, you
circle's
definitely
tight.
keep
my
the circle
circle's
small.
tight, but what I am very good at, what my cousins are trying to say, I am very good at picking people. I am. I have a thing that I feel like I was blessed with that I can wean out the bads and I can wean in the goods very, very easily. I'm a very good judge of character, and I've learned people who are like us, where I know their vibe. I know they're the type that probably want to do what we do. I can sense good people. I can sense non-jealous people, right? And I end up in whoever I'm friends with gets introduced to my family, right? Because I'm always with my family and I throw a lot of parties, and my family ends up loving all of my friends, right? Like, for instance, next week we are all going on a trip to Aruba with who, guys?
all your
All
friends.
your friends. Yeah.
So Tara and Nick and Nick's fiance and Tara's husband and her 3 children, they're all they're all coming to Aruba with me and all of my friends because I pick good ones.
But
Finally
they love
coming.
us too. Like, let's be honest.
They love you guys too.
They're-
No. They love
It's
you
so
guys.
mutual.
First of all, I'll introduce my friends to my cousins, and then my cousins are invited to all of my friends' like kids' birthdays, like
Unions.
Everything.
communions,
We buy a
Christmas
house,
parties.
They send a gift.
Yes, they send gifts. Like, I don't know. I just pick really good people. And, I would like you guys to start bringing some people to the table. I would appreciate you guys. I do like a couple of your friends.
do.
We
and I
do,
love
we
your
do.
friends too. But, more people to the table would be
Yeah,
nice.
no, we
guys.
love a good challenge, so I'm all for it. And that's
do.
why I challenged Mike. I'm like, let's go. Who are you bringing to the table?
Mike is his fiance. Yes. Yeah, you got to listen, I believe in like adding to the circle, but you have to choose wisely. We have to choose well. Going back to one thing I wanted to say about our cousinhood, right? And our circle of trust, which we do call it a circle of trust. And really funny, guys, we have a text chain, okay? It's called Quarantine Cousins, and we're going to get into Quarantine Cousins in a second because that is a group chat that sometimes we all post on Instagram. Sometimes I'll post little funny things, but you got to be a cousin to be in. You have to be some type of blood or you're not allowed into the group chat. And that group chat is lit. Okay. A lot of the times it is you want to read what's happening in Quarantine Cousins. But before we get to Quarantine Cousins, I just need to add, because I feel like this is very important. When we were discussing why we're so close and why we have so much fun together and why we lift people up, and I think we touched on it lightly, it's truly because we were not made or bred to be in competition with each other. And I think that is such an important part of this, because we can say a lot, but hear me clear when we say that. We truly do clap for one another. And I know you touched on that a little bit, Nick, but from our mothers have taught us and our fathers have taught us, no, we're not going to the store trying to buy Tara a coat for Christmas that's less than yours. We're going to match her coat, and you guys are going to be twinning in the coats. And there is zero competition in this family. It is all about lifting each other up. If it's the smallest little things that happen to someone, we clap for them. We'll bring them a cake. Like it's very much so about there is zero competition. And I think that is a huge part of it. We're proud of each other. We're happy for each other. And I do think we were raised to be, let's just say, genuinely pretty decent humans,
Absolutely.
right? I mean, our parents are good people. I was giggling the other day because our two mothers, by the way, who are sister-in-laws, they have known each other since they're 18 years old, I want to say. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
They are still giggling together on trips to Florida and taking photos of each other. Like, they set the bar for what family is, what your married family should be like, how there are no if and. You think my mom doesn't get annoyed with Aunt Dawn once in a while, or didn't get annoyed with Aunt Luella? Of course, but that is family. There is never a situation where they don't speak, or like she holds it against her, or it just doesn't exist. Like, it doesn't exist where we come from. It doesn't exist. And honestly, that's why it's always been a little difficult for me to take in, you know, what, like, dealing with when you marry someone, dealing with like a new family, and when things are not the same way that you're used to, you're the outcast, and it's very different. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So
especially if you deal with jealousy. I mean, that's literally it ruins everything in life if you have jealousy.
Everything.
And
Everything.
None of that.
And like, is that something that you're born with, you think, Nick, since you're the smart one in the group, or is that something that you're like taught?
I'm that guy that thinks people can absolutely change. It just might take a lot of work to get them to really see the light.
Okay.
But you know, I mean, I think
You believe people can change?
I do. I really do think people can change, but I do think that you know, some of it is innate, almost genetic. I mean, I do think that it's a balance, but where there's a will, there is a way, and it comes down to sometimes hearing it from the person that he or she really respects. And, you know, like sometimes it may not be me, it may be somebody else. Like, it's just they finally may see the light, and it may be too late in their life and they've ruined too many relationships. But, you know, I think that, you know, you can kind of break the cycle, if you will. You know, and it's important for us. Like, think about where we are today. Do you think 100 years from now, where will the Marco family be? We have to continue to just, you know,
because now we have Lexi, we have
I
Gianna,
think
we
about
have a
that all
whole
the
nother
time.
20-year-old
That's what,
generation
my fear
underneath
as we
us.
get older is like, this can't change. I want to put this in a bottle, and like this cannot go away.
No, we
You
need
know?
to keep this going.
And I won't let that happen. I mean, honestly, like, I feel like that's something like that's a priority for me.
Right.
You know, and the love between us is really strong and so similar. But the thing that's also awesome about our family is we're very different. Like, there's so many different personalities in this family.
Right.
I mean, everything from political views to freaking like how we dress. Like, there's definitely,
I have a lot of opinions on how everybody dresses.
there's definitely a range, but we embrace that of each other, and we call each other out all the time, and it's nice.
We do.
That's
We
what you
do.
want.
If anyone's diving out,
Oh, yeah.
we do call each other out. It is like,
it was so funny over the weekend when you weren't there on Sunday, part of the weekend, which was totally fine.
we're going to also
we'll talk
discuss
about that.
this weekend
But we're
and why.
shopping, and I'm side texting you pictures of me in coats, and Kimmy, your sister's like, "What are you doing, Tara? Texting Melissa for her approval?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Constantly.
But I love that
And
about
I'm
you.
just like, but I always like,
But you
I have no
always-
shame. I will always say that I've looked up to you. I've sought your approval. I've gotten your advice. And that's just always how it's been.
And I love that, though.
It's been fun.
Oh,
that
yeah,
way.
I mean-
And we always joke, like, one day, like, our daughters are, you know, they have a big age gap, but I'm like, one day they're going to be just like us.
Yeah, they're only 10 years
Because
apart.
We all kind of drift in our 20s, find ourselves, go to college, look for a husband, and then you kind of meet back up when you get home. You take that break of your friends being your family. You're
Right.
back with your family. And, you know, all of our husbands are friends. All of our partners are friends. And they don't have to be blood. Like, when I met Joe Gorga and you got married to him, he became my cousin. He's my cousin now.
Right.
And it's like your mother, she became a widow. She's still my aunt, godmother. Like, it didn't separate our family, which death can do that a lot. And
Right.
I feel like that didn't happen to us, obviously.
It made us stronger.
It made us stronger. And, like, you know, we're all trying to find her a man right now. So.
We're all trying. Donna Marco, we're still looking for your man. We're going to be very picky with him, though, because she has been through.
She's really
she's been
tough.
through
Like,
it.
she's really picky.
She's very picky.
Beyond. And there's no logic to it.
Who knew why
Yeah.
she was so picky? Why is she so picky?
She really has to give them a chance.
He has to really not want sex. He has to love AC. There's many things. We'll get into a whole Donna Marco dating episode because that's a whole nother thing. But one thing I want to go right back on real quick is I want you to share this story about when you were coming out, Nick.
with Joe.
And like some of your nervousness that you had even with Joe Gorga.
Yeah, well, I think that's like the when I say we're so different as a family, like I think about your husband and really all of my men in my life. They're beyond masculine, beyond open about just sex and just, I was in college. This should be the prime time of my life to just be with girls. And, I tried the fraternity thing and like I found myself wanting to hang out with those sorority girls. And it was so confusing and so scary. And every time I saw your husband, who knows Penn State so well, was always asking me, what are the girls like at Penn State? How's that going? And
How's
the
that-
amount
how's that
of
going?
lies I made was so, and I was just such a confused person. Like I was like a shell. I really was a shell. It's like really sad to think about, but I think of like there was this analogy. Remember like that movie Brokeback Mountain when like Heath Ledger said like I had to be like a clenched fist in how he acted, and I always remembered that because that's how I felt like I was before I came out. I was always like this clenched fist. Like I never wanted to loosen up because I was always scared it would come with that label of he's gay, and I didn't know how to handle that. That really crushed me. And so when I did come out, it would kind of like almost like leaked in a way, and I'm so glad it did because the love and embrace that I got from your husband to just be so excited for me, to just want to flip the switch already and just talk about guys, which was like amazing actually for me because it made me so comfortable so quickly. And like and I think that everyone just realized it wasn't like an easy thing to do. Like they said, I'm very proud of you. We're going to celebrate this. And I didn't even know what that was at the time. Like I didn't realize like how like they acknowledged that it was not an easy thing to do. Right. But it's amazing, like for anybody out there that like whether it's your parents or anybody in your family or your friends, even like I could think of my roommates, they were so amazing in college. Like you really don't wait, I mean, you got to do it at your own timeline and feel comfortable. But I'm telling you, if you deserve to be who you are now. And if you do it, regardless of the repercussions that's going to happen, like you got to find the people where you're comfortable with, because then you're never yourself. And he was just so amazing. And I tell him that all the time. And I mean, we were just at BravoCon and I like did a whole toast to him at like 1 a.m. about it because we were with my cousin Jared and
I love how close you guys are with my husband as well. There's so much more to talk about here. You guys are so much fun. We definitely need to do a 2-parter on this one. So, my listeners, you need to catch us back here next week for part 2 of the family holiday episode with Melissa Gorga on display. We're going to dive into Quarantine Cousins text chain. We're going to dive into the crazy family dynamic a little bit more. And we're also going to figure out why some of our husbands get so jealous when we go on our cousins trip, okay? So I need to wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. I love you all so much. Merry Christmas from me and my cousins.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
We'll see you next week.
We will see you next week.